Welcome. Today's topic is why can't flat earthers answer simple questions? Today's clip is from Rashad Rushay's show Real Talk. It's a radio show based in Atlanta. I'll let him present his guest for this show.
Okay, there's a guy on my show today basically claiming that there's a conspiracy, and if this is a conspiracy, ladies and gentlemen, it is literally the biggest conspiracy ever. And when you think about it, if it's true, it's bigger than even your belief in aliens. Okay, this is going to be interesting. It is Anything Goes Friday. Now, I'm taking it to a whole nother level right now. There's a guy named David Weiss. David Weiss believes the earth is flat.
If you don't know who this is, he's known on YouTube as DITRH, and for the sun and moon clock, that's the same one. I will select some parts of this interview where it's clear that he can't answer questions and can't give any explanation of his statements.
No, let me ask you this question. Because it is interesting that if your theory is correct, right, that means that everybody is lying. And one thing I know about conspiracies, okay, so if they're not lying, they are assuming or they have been manipulated by some entity intentionally, because naturally the visuals that we see, and I know a lot of this stuff is CGI, so you don't have to go down that road with me. But I know a lot of the scientists who we have a lot of respect for, Neil deGrasse Tyson, etc. They hold forums, they hold conversations, and these individuals are trained in the atmosphere science. Let me ask you, do you have training in atmosphere science or earth science?
So we have pilots, scientists, we have people from all walks of life. But you can't just use the word science and Neil deGrasse Tyson. Neil deGrasse Tyson refuses to discuss any of this with any of us. He says the science is settled. Well, that's not science. Science is never settled.
Here he, on typical flat earth manner, avoids answering the important questions. Who is behind the conspiracy about a globe Earth? And what knowledge does he have himself? Do he have any knowledge about science, about Earth, atmospheres and so on? He avoids that question. And another interesting part, the video I'm used is from him. It's his cut of this interview. So he thinks this is important part where he wins the discussion. And then he used another classic flat earth tactic. Tyson don't want to discuss with us. Why doesn't he want to discuss with you is not so strange. Come up with some evidence or theories that can be discussed, because you have no knowledge about anything and no proofs for your claims. So what is it to discuss? So I'm sorry, you're stuck with the Fight the Flat Earth and other flat earth debunkers who thinks it's entertaining to discuss with fools like you.
Antarctica is the shoreline of the world ocean. It's not the ice wall like the Game of Thrones. It's the frozen perimeter of our pond. And now if you go to Antarctica and start walking outward, we don't know what'll go there because of the Antarctic Treaty. No person, not you, not me, not any corporation, is allowed to explore the outer limits of Antarctica.
Now, is that because we would discover that the earth is flat if we went there?
100%.
Now, people have gone there. I mean, we didn't have this treaty forever. And even with that treaty, we have individuals that are stationed there. So we have people there. It's not as if it's barren.
No, I will answer that. There's about 15 different companies where you could schedule a sightseeing tour It'll cost you between $10,000 and $30,000. Okay. And there's all of those. But the funny thing is, all of those companies are owned by the same parent company. So it's one company disguising themselves as 15. When you go, they'll show you some penguins.
And what is the
near
name of the
shoreline.
company? What company is
They're all different companies. Just look up Antarctic Vacation. There's a whole bunch of them.
What's the name of the covering company that you're talking about?
I don't know. I looked into it a while ago. I don't remember.
Come on, David. You come on the show
and
make that kind of accusation. You got to know the name of the company.
And one more typical flat earth tactic. Claims without proof. No, it's not true. It's not 15 companies making cruises to Antarctica and they have the same owner in the background. For instance, the Norwegian company makes cruises to Antarctica and they don't have a mysterious owner in the background. They have the hotel owner Petter Stordalen and the British TDR Capital as the main shareholders in the company. And none of them is a big owner in any other cruising company. And if you look at others who makes cruises to Antarctica, you will find the same answer. So this is pure bullshit from a flat earther who make claims without any evidence. Anyone surprised?
Well, actually, I'm going to tell you where to find all the information because it's all being hidden by Google. When you search flat Earth,
wait a minute.
So
Google, wait a minute. Google is in on the flat Earth conspiracy.
Google is in on censoring the flat Earth information. Absolutely, they even admitted it in a congressional hearing a couple of years ago.
They admitted that the Earth was flat, and they were engaged in a conspiracy.
They in a congressional hearing, they said that they will suppress information about flat Earth because it's non-factual, according to them.
Okay,
Ms. Downs, does Google think that this is a problem, and what is the solution that you're coming up with to address it?
In terms of conspiracy theory content generally, our goal is to promote authoritative content to our users. So we have two principles that guide the way here. That's the first one, is we want to provide users with authoritative, trustworthy information.
Ms. Downs, I'm sorry to cut you off. I only have a minute and a half, and I don't really need to hear what you're trying to provide. I want to know how you're dealing with all these conspiracy theorists on your platform.
So the first way is by demoting low-quality content and promoting more authoritative content, and the second is by providing more transparency for users. So we're introducing boxes that provide factual information at the top of results that have shown themselves to turn up a lot of information that is counterfactual, such as searching for the Earth is flat.
It sounds like he believes that someone forces Google to hide flat Earth. That's ridiculous. Why should Google promote this flat Earth nonsense? You don't have any evidence for your flat Earth. You are a real conspiracy theory. Do you think they would have the flat Earth, and what other conspiracies should they promote in your opinion? Ridiculous claims about the ongoing pandemic, about 5G, about 9/11. What conspiracies should they promote? And why should they promote flat Earth and other bullshit?
Well, I'm talking about the people that are looking into flat Earth, because the flat Earth information is out there. I'm so confident that I'm offering 100 ounces of silver or a Bitcoin for anybody that can take my Flat Earth app challenge and supply me with just one proof of the globe. Just one. They get a Bitcoin or 100 ounces of silver. Okay?
All right, listen,
one proof of the globe.
That's why you're on the show, man. You have put out a challenge. I'm happy to hear you put out a challenge. Let me ask you some questions before you go. The music is playing. All right. Let me talk about a lunar eclipse, right? So a lunar eclipse, do you believe that it occurs when the Earth is directly blocking the sunlight for the moon? Or is that something else?
Absolutely not.
What is a lunar eclipse?
It's something else. You can observe the lunar eclipse with the sun and the moon both above your opposite horizons, which rules out that it's Earth doing it. And then also...
Now, you say rules out, but that doesn't necessarily rule it out. I mean, you're dealing with
It rules it out
passive
100%.
physics. Okay, you can say that, but you provide no science to that. You can just say rules it out, and we're supposed to agree. Okay, well, he said rules it out, and rules it out. How does it rule it out?
So here's the thing. We don't have a lot of time here, and I have all the information in the Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app. It's on Android and Apple.
And this is a typical Flat Earth challenge. Because you don't accept science, you're science denying. How should we prove to you that we live on a globe? You don't accept any evidence. And where are your evidence for your imaginary flat Earth? In your app. So we have to buy the app to see your proofs. You are a con man, nothing but a con man. Note, Davis has selected the parts of this interview that he obviously thinks were the best. He avoids question, makes statements that are easy to prove that there are lies. When he is pressured to provide evidence, he refers to his app, which costs money to use. Sorry to say it, Dave, but you are a con man. And one question to you, if you see this video. Why are the Arctic and the Antarctic circles moving? Can you explain that on your flat Earth? Okay, that was all for this time. See you on Friday when it's the next episode of Flatardia. Have a nice day. Bye.